this is Miranda from My Scrappy Life, and welcome back to my channel. I am going to do a little bit of a different one to start out. I want to try something different on my channel for like my design teams and just kind of give a different intro. So this is for Shimmeringz paints, and I'm using a collection from Close to My Heart. And the two like three products, but the two main products that I'm going to use, it's called Cleentine and then Creameez. So Cleentine is where you do a non-toxic and you have to activate it with water, and that's the same thing with the Creameez. So they come in these pods like this. And so the way I keep my things like together is I bought these from Michael's, and these are, I have them done by collection so I can see the colors. Now this is how I use them, this is how I collect them. So, and this is how I kind of keep in going. Yes, I have a lot, but I've been on their design team for, you know, quite a while, and I just love their products. So I wanted to show you that one, this is how I store mine, and then I just keep them, like this is all my Creameez and this is all my Cleentines. And the thing that you want to know about the Creameez and the Cleentines is make sure that when you are done, and these pods have to be dry, or that when you close them up, the thing that I have found, especially in the South, because I live in the South, obviously you guys know that I live now in South Carolina, but Georgia, South Carolina, they're right next to each other, and I didn't move far. The South gets very hot and humid, and then these start to collect mold if you do not let that dry. So as an example, I have this color that I got out thinking that it was going to be close, and then when it got wet, I was like, oop, nope. And this one is let us get together, and this one's just not the right color tone, and you don't want to put that on. You got to let that dry. So of course it's just sitting right on over on a spot. So what I am going to do is that I got out this here because this is kind of like my inspiration of what I'm going to make with these doilies. Now off camera, I painstakingly cut these out. It's a die cut that I got from Close to My Heart, and I cut out 3 of them and then the big doily. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to color the doilies, and that is what's going to be with my paints. Now I did off camera as well put a big thick of gesso. Now gesso, for my white, I use clear gesso. I always get all my stuff from Liquitex. That is the company that I use. I absolutely love them. I also have it in just regular gesso. So just watch. This gesso is white gesso, and then clear is what I use for this. Because if you use white gesso and you don't get this completely covered on this here, you will see the different color tones of what gesso does on a white. But clear, it goes in and it sticks with the color. Now, the white paper I used is Close to My Heart. It's the White Daisy cardstock, because I just love how it works. So what I am going to do is that I am going to show you these 3 and kind of show you, I may not use the green, I may stick to these 2 colors and pull it that way. I might actually find maybe a different one of those, because that's not quite what I need. It needs to be more this color. So it needs to be more this peachy. So as you can tell, this is dry. So those might not be the right colors. I got to play with it on just a regular cardstock to see. So I just let the water get in there. And then it activates as the water sits in there. It collects the color. So you just set it in there and call it a day. So that one is my Clementine, and that's actually a better color for that. And this is what you get to see outside of, this is how I set up my stuff. So that color actually matches this a little bit better. The orange looks good. I gotta try to find that color, and I think, yeah. So here we go. So Hot Mama's going to get set off to the side because I got to let that dry. And then, so my Clementine's going to work. This orange one is just peachy. So it's a peachy color. I know that this one matches a little bit better there, and that's Green Goddess. The Strawberry Fields, the Creameez, is what I'm going to use because that, yeah, that matches way better. Yep. So then I just take, like I said, I just take this, and you can fill up the pot. It's okay, because once you let it dry, and then it just, you're good to go again. So those are what I'm going to use. So those are the colors, and all I'm going to do is just take, so I may, I'm actually thinking I'm going to probably use my bigger paintbrushes. So paintbrushes, it doesn't matter what they are. I carry mine in this. It's just from IKEA. And I keep all of my paintbrushes that I know for a fact that I'm going to use like on a daily. And they just sit here on my corner. But these are the three I'm probably going to use within. I'm going to get probably a green one there. So once I get those activated, I will come back and we'll start this process of how I'm going to make these doilies look. And then the photo is of my friend Grace and myself. And this is the last photo of the beach that we went to during when we went to Tybee Island. So let's see what we can do. Okay. So what I am going to do now is that I am going to color in all of these doilies. And I figured out the colors like I was stating in my real-time section. I had to kind of play with the colors to make sure, because the one thing that I do like about Creameez and Inklings is that you can really truly see the colors once you put the water in there. And for the most part, about 90% of the time when you actually look at the pod itself, that is the color it is. Sometimes it does get a little bit brighter once that water activates the colors, but for the most part it's the color that's on the pod. So I had to just kind of play around with it. I kept kind of taking the colors and just mixing and making these three colors prominent in these doilies. Now, I was going to use the green, and I don't. I realized that while I was coloring these, and you can tell that I was coloring these really heavily, I just had to keep coloring because, one, I had gesso on this, so it doesn't really seep into the paper as quickly as if you did not use gesso. That's why I like using gesso, because I can move around the color. As you can see, I'm just moving it around and I'm just adding, and so I can add layers and layers and layers onto the paper and be like, okay, is this color good? Nope, I can keep going and keep adding. And if I wanted to mix the colors to make them look better, I could do that as well. That's like the one thing I do like. And then the very last thing I do is I take out my Shimmeringz, the baby's breath, and just give it a little bit of shimmer. So now I'm just kind of going through and figuring out what I want to use and where I want to use it. So with this particular collection from Close to My Heart, unfortunately, it is not available anymore, but I really love this collection. It was a collection that came out during scrapbooking month or whatever, in May, and I snagged up quite a bit of it. I really, really love this. So I did the paper. It was funny because I did the whole thing. So I got like the paper and the stickers, and then I got the workshop collection, and then I got some other things I added with it because I really, really love this collection. And now that I got done with my family photos and what we wore for the family photos, I know for a fact that some of these will be used with this collection for sure, hands down. I can't wait to start diving into my family photos and knocking all of them out. I'm so excited to put them, in my layout or in my album. As I stated, this photo was while I was at the beach with Grace and I, but it actually turned out it just turned out really well. Like, I really love how this layout turned out. So make sure that you go check out Shimmeringz and all of the fun stuff that they have. I will link all of their information down below. Make sure that you go check out the group, the website. They're constantly adding things. Their color kits are like fantastic. I'm constantly getting their color kits. Every time I'm like, nope, I'm not going, and then I do anyway. I should always just say, I should just automatically like sign up. I wish they'd have a subscription to it and we would just do it, right? Like, because I should just get it in all the time. So the one thing that I have found that I can't do that Missy Witten can do really, really well is like the big droplets. So I use my paint stick because it's a little bit thicker to get that droplet down. And I'm still learning, like I've been working with it to get the thinner pieces or the thinner paint that Shimmeringz has to be able to get the droplets. So now I'm going into, there's this little thin wood veneer cork board. I don't know what to call it. And I have 2 of them because I purchased 2 of them because I really, really love this. So I went in and I found all of the leaves, the flowers that I want to use, and the butterflies. I was going to use this word sweet, and it looks really good on there. But I kept trying to figure out how to make it work because it's so big, and where our faces are sitting, it almost like hides it. And I wasn't trying to hide our faces or that. And then I found this one that says so beautiful, and then it works. Because I like how the little hump gets to my face and then it dips down to where hers is because of how we're sitting. So it works out perfectly. So then I start to add in all of these other embellishments and all this fun stuff to it and just make it this gorgeous layout that is part of this trip that I went on. So now I'm just going through and I'm gluing everything down. This video with my voiceover in the beginning, and this was almost an hour and a half long. And that was me just doing this. So that is the one thing that I love to do, is just to sit and be able to scrapbook, right? So if this is something that you are very interested in, I know that my front of my video will be wonderful for you because you can sit down and actually go through my process. Let me know in the comments down below if this is something that you're interested in. I know that it makes my videos longer, and due to my analytics, half the time y'all just pay attention to about 7 minutes of mine and then click out. So if you made it to this far in this video, make sure that you like and subscribe, and drop me a comment down below saying that you got this far, because, you know, analytics are a pain, and some days I realize that y'all don't have enough time, and then if it gets over 10 minutes, you guys don't even get to that point. So, but I am just finishing up. I'm adding in my little Starbook pieces just to add a little bit more to it. And then that is it. The still shots are coming up. I hope that you like and subscribe to the channel. All of the information from Shimmeringz will be linked down below. Make sure that you use my name in the comments and you will get a freebie. And that is it. The still shots are coming up. I hope you guys are all staying safe. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.